Hi, welcome back guys. Welcome to the Science e-learning. Alright, so we are going to see the chapter name Changes Around Us, and that's the 6th chapter. Alright, okay. Remember students, the first day when you come to the school. Many of you are new right now, but remember anyhow, the first school that you ever went to. What was the first day like? What experience you had, if you can recollect from your first day of school? Yes, you guys were small babies, like some 4 years old or something. You went to the school. Many of you went crying, many of you went with happy faces. Many of you were not willing to sit in the school, and then gradually, slowly you got habitual of the school. You started liking the school, then you stopped crying, right? And you paid attention to what your teacher is telling. You learned some rhymes, and then you went into the senior KG, then first standard, then second standard, third standard, fourth standard, fifth standard, and now here you are in the 6th standard. Remember the first day when you were small baby? I wouldn't say small baby, you were of some 4 years of old, so your height was you were not that taller what you are now, and now when you are in the 6th grade you are this much tall now, all right, or even more taller than that. So what is that? It's the change that you have seen in like 8 years or something, right? You are even going to go taller, you are even going to grow taller, sorry. So that's the change. Yes, that's the change in you, that you were a baby, then you grown up into a younger boy or a girl, right? So your weight increased, your height increased, right? So that's a change. That's the change that we are going to learn. So many such changes are happening around you. Many such changes are happening around you, right? Can you tell me few? Yes, can you tell me few changes around you? Yes, the one I told you, growing of a baby. Likewise, growing of a plant can be also a change. Yes, you given with one small seed, right? What you did? You germinated it, or the seed got germinated. Eventually it got leaves. It started growing leaves, then a root emerged and it spreaded into the ground. Similarly, the stem spreaded into the branches and the tree got a huge tree. The small plant turned into a huge tree. That's again a change. That is also a change. Yes, you are having a raw mango in the earlier months of the year, like it's March or April. We get raw mangoes, right? We see the raw mangoes on the mango trees, but as the days passes, the green color of the raw mango changes into the ripe yellow mangoes, right? So the ripening of fruit is again a change. Now suppose you go given with an ice cream and you are only looking at the ice cream, you are not eating it. What is going to happen with that ice cream? It's going to melt. It's going to melt. So the melting of the ice cream is also a change. Tearing of paper is also a change, right? So ice melting of ice is a change. Burning of leaves and papers, that is also a change, right? Burning of candles is also change. So many changes. Yes, when your mama is cooking the food, that is also a change. So many changes are happening around us, and we are now going to see about these changes which are happening around us. We are going to see such a changes. So in this chapter we have divided these changes into 3 categories, like reversible and irreversible changes, first type. Second, physical and chemical changes, and then contraction and expansion. All these terms you've already learned. Okay, for this part now we're going to see about reversible and irreversible changes. Okay, reversible and irreversible changes. So before that, let us understand the meaning of the word reversible. What is the meaning of reversible? Reversible means something which can be reversed. So reversible means what is the meaning of the word reversible? Reversed means परत येणे किंवा to turn back. Okay, something to turn back, that will be called as reversed, and such a kind of change will be called as reversible change. Okay, suppose like what I said, you given with the ice cream, and because you've not finished it early, it melted, it started melting. Now if you want to get the ice cream back, what you will do? You'll keep it into the freezer. So what you will get back is the ice cream. So such a kind of change will be called as reversible change. But if I have given you a paper and I asked you to tear that paper into small pieces, can you again rejoin that papers and get me the paper which I had given to you? No, you can't do that. So that kind of change will be called as irreversible change. Some changes which you can reverse, they will be called as reversible changes. Some changes that you cannot reverse, they will be called as irreversible changes, right? Suppose I have given you milk and because you've not heated it properly, it spoiled, it curdled, okay? So the curdled milk will not be bring back again to the milk. So that kind of change will be called as irreversible change. Is that understood about reversible and irreversible change? So first we are going to learn about reversible changes. Okay, we're going to learn about reversible changes. So what are reversible changes? Changes that can be reversed are called as reversible changes. Definition is like this. Changes that can be reversed are called as this is the basic definition. So like what I have told you about ice cream, the example of ice cream, if ice cream it is melted, you put it back into the freezer, you are going to get ice cream back. So yes, that in that case you can get the ice cream back. But like what I said, if you are tearing the paper into small pieces, even though the small pieces will be called as paper, but you cannot get attached to that and bring it back to the original shape of the paper. That won't be called as a reversible change. It's a irreversible change, right? Similarly, melting of ice cream, melting of butter, even melting of chocolate. Suppose I have given you one small nice dairy milk, which I had promised you last year, but I have not given. Alright, so I have given you dairy milk, and due to heat, it started melting. Okay, now again you put it into the freezer, it's going to get to its normal shape. So that is one reversible change. Melting of chocolate is also a reversible change. So there are many such reversible changes happening around us. We have learnt of many a times, we have learnt of what is solidification, what is evaporation, what is condensation, what is melting. All these four processes, evaporation, condensation, melting and solidification, these all are reversible. These all are reversible. Now let us understand how. Okay, now we know, so far we know that there are how many states of matter? Yes, there are 3 states of matter. What are they? Will you tell me what are the states of matter? Yes, they are solids, then liquids, and then gaseous states. Yes. Yes. Can we interchange these states? Can we get liquids from solids? Can we get gases from liquids? Yes, we can. So the process by which the solid is turning into the liquid, what do we call to that state? That process, we call it as melting. Right? Yes, a process by which liquid is turning into gases. What do we call to that process? It's evaporation. Very good. I'm saying very good. I hope you are answering at house. Alright. The process by which gases are turning into liquid. What is it? It's condensation. Isn't it? Yes. And the process by which liquid changes into solid. What do we call that? It's solidification. Yes, so these all processes, these all 4 processes, they all are reversible. They all are reversible. And now how, that I am going to tell you. Now here when I am saying solid, consider the example of ice. Now here when I am saying solids, consider the example of ice. Then when I am saying liquids, water. And then when I am saying gases, water vapor or steam. Steam. Understood? Now you see how these processes are reversible, that we are going to see. First we are going to see about melting. Okay. A solid form of water, that is ice. Okay, now you have taken out ice from the freezer and you kept it at the room temperature as it is. You are not, you have kept it at the room temperature. Suppose you kept it on the table. What is going to happen? Slowly, slowly, slowly the ice is going to melt into the liquid. Yes, ice will be melting and we are getting water. Right. Now I want ice back from that water. So what I'll do? I'll put the water back into the freezer and I'll get solid. Yes. So water, when I cooled it, I got ice. So that is solidification. Right. Yes. So when melting is happening, the reverse process is solidification. By melting, what is happening? Solid is turning into liquid. The ice is turning into the water. But I want to reverse it. I again want from water solid only. I again want from water ice only. So what did I do? That water I again put into the freezer, and what happened? The water turned into the ice and I got ice back, and the process is solidification. Understood about these processes? Yes, how melting is reversible. The reversible process of melting is solidification. Exactly, reversible process of solidification is melting. Right. Liquid. Now we have water, and from water if we want steam to be generated, what will you do? Yes, you will keep the water for heating. Gradually all the water, it is going to evaporate into the gases. Yes, as the water is heating, it is going to turn into the water vapors. Now from that water I want water vapors. From that steam I again want water back. So what I am going to do? Okay, on that boiling water I am going to put one plate. I am going to hold one cool plate, or I am gonna keep one plate. So what is going to happen? The steam, when it's get cooled, it is going to turn into liquids. Understood? So this all processes. Now the arrows are only saying solids turning into liquid, liquid turning into solid. Yes, this can happen. So this is reversible process. Similarly, liquids are turning into gases by the process of evaporation. Again, the gases are turning into the liquids by the process of condensation. So these processes, all these processes are reversible. Understood? Yes. So this is about the reversible changes. This is about the reversible changes. Now I am going to tell you about the irreversible changes. We are going to see about the irreversible changes. So what are irreversible changes? The changes that cannot be reversed. The changes that cannot be changes that cannot be reversed are called as Alright, so irreversible changes. Some changes that cannot be reversed, which we cannot bring back. Such changes are called as irreversible changes. For example, I want, there is some milk in the container or in the utensil, there is some milk and I forgot to boil it. And after some time, like after 8 or 9 hours, when I looked at the milk, I found that the milk has curdled. Naslela hai doodh. Okay, so the curdling means nasne. The milk has curdled. Can I get it back? Can I get the milk back from the curdled milk even if I heat? No, I cannot get it back. So such a kind of change is called as irreversible change, right? Irreversible change is that because you are not boiling the milk and milk is getting curdled, such a kind of change will be called as irreversible change. Suppose ripening of banana. Banana, when it is raw, it is somewhat green in color. Gradually, as the days are passing, after few days, it is turning into yellow color. That is, it is ripened. It is ripened now. Okay. So that is irreversible change. From ripened banana, now you cannot get the raw banana back. Similarly, raw mango, when it is ripened into the fully ripe yellow mango, you cannot get back the raw mango, right? It's not going to happen. Such a kind of changes are called as irreversible changes. Okay, suppose you want to bake one cake. So what are the things that you may need for baking a cake? You may need some maida, that is all-purpose flour, that is called as all-purpose flour. Then you will need some butter, you will need some sugar, you may need some eggs, you may need some milk. Yes, you have to put all these ingredients together and then you have to put it into the oven. You have to put it into the oven to bake it. But you will get the cake. But can you get back the maida back? Can you get the eggs back? Can you get the sugar back? Can you get the butter back when the cake is baked or when the mixture is made? You cannot get it. You cannot get it. Understood? So such a kind of change will be called as irreversible change. Blooming of flowers. Flowers, earlier they are buds. But when they are blooming, from that blooming of flowers, you cannot get the bud back, right? You cannot get the bud back. That is again one kind of irreversible change. Understood? So burning of paper. Burning of paper. I have given you some paper and it is burnt. It is burnt now. What will happen? You will get ash. You will get ash, and from that ash you cannot get the paper back. So that kind of change is again a irreversible change. So any change from which you cannot get the earlier thing back, you cannot get the earlier thing back, that kind of change will be called as irreversible change. Even if I have given you one piece of paper, I have given you one piece of paper, right? I'll show you. Okay, I have this bill or something in my hand. Okay, see the size of it. All right, now I'm tearing it. Even this is going to be called as paper. Even I am turning it. Even this is called as paper. But can I make the original size of it? Can I get the original size of the paper now? No, I cannot get it. I cannot reverse it. So this is again a irreversible change. Even though this is paper, but I cannot bring it back to its original shape. I cannot bring it back to its original shape. So that is again a irreversible change, right? So blooming of flowers, spoiling of milk or curdling of milk, these again burning of paper, you know, or rusting of nails, rusting of iron nails, cooking of food, like I what said, baking of cake. All these kind of changes, they are irreversible changes. They are irreversible changes. Is that understood about reversible and irreversible changes? So if I ask you to write difference between them, if I ask you to write difference between them, yes, I asked you to write difference in the previous assignment and many of you have not. So when you are asked to write difference, or if the question is like differentiate between reversible and irreversible change, you had to make two columns. Right, in one side you will be writing reversible, the other side you will be writing irreversible. So the first point will be always definition. Definition of reversible change that can be reversed is called as reversible change, whereas irreversible, the change which cannot be reversed. Then certain examples, right? Such a kind of writing in two columns, that is called as differentiate, or that is called as difference. Okay, in the previous assignment many of you have not written it the correct way it should be, right? So always keep in mind. So that's it for today's video. We have learnt of reversible and irreversible changes. All right, in the next video we're gonna learn of physical and chemical changes. So if you have got the textbooks, do read them. All right, or if you have not got the textbooks, in the last year's textbook we have already learnt about we have learnt of physical and chemical changes, expansion and contraction. So please go and read from that book as well if you don't have. All right, my dear students, so till then take care of yourself and bye bye.